September 13th, 2023. The San Francisco Giants are playing at home against the Cleveland Guardians with a slim chance to make the wild card. As a kid, my big brother played for the Little League Giants, and one day he came to watch a game here at Oracle, back when it was AT&T Park, and he brought back this Lucille lunchbox. I've been a casual Giants fan ever since. Since then, I've always wanted to see a game in person. I dreamed of sliding down the giant Coca-Cola sign and catching any ball hit off home plate. Home run, foul ball, didn't matter. I told myself that this year was the year to go. I picked up a season schedule calendar during spring training so I could pick a date ahead of time and finally see my favorite baseball team play. But as months passed, I kept pushing back a date for a home game. I kept giving myself excuses. Well, I need to apply for a job, prepare for potential interviews. I have car repairs that I need to do, so on and so forth. But I told myself, if I don't go now, I'll probably never go, and there's no better time to go than now. So I went. I've been on a soul-searching journey since I resigned in February. I studied criminology in college with the goal of improving the criminal justice system itself. I no longer wish to have a career in criminal justice. To begin this journey, I once again started reading No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. I picked up where I left off, and one quote about nice guys struck me. Quote, "They are attracted to careers that allow them to recreate the dysfunctional roles, relationships, and rules of their childhood, unconsciously recreating familiar family patterns in their careers." End quote. My entire life, I've been labeled as a nice guy. After reading this book, although I'm a bit ashamed to admit it, I realize I still exhibit some behaviors and characteristics described that prove I am indeed a nice guy. I realize that I need to learn to invest energy into myself first and foremost. After all, you can't help others if you can't help yourself now, can you? 4 such key themes from this book that helped me along the way are: learn to please yourself, make your needs a priority, reclaim your personal power, and reclaim your masculinity. Together, these are meant to help us get the life we want, to discover our passion and purpose in life. So what makes a nice guy? There are several behaviors. Ones that I have exhibited and some that I still do include seeking approval, avoiding conflicts, repressing feelings, and trying to make myself seem different from other men. How did I get here? What circumstances turned me into who I am? And what causes us to develop this nice guy syndrome? We developed a core belief in childhood that we were not okay just being as we were. This progression takes place in 3 stages: abandonment, internalized toxic shame, and the creation of survival mechanisms, resulting us to seek approval and hide our perceived flaws. Dr. Glover describes 3 profound social dynamics that led to this wave of nice guys. Bad or absent fathers. Boys were separated from their fathers and other significant male role models, thus becoming disconnected from other men. Female-dominated education system, where boys were left to be raised by women, becoming defined by and dependent on the approval of women, and the female liberation movement. Radical feminism implied that men were bad and or unnecessary. The thought arose that to be loved, we had to become what we believed women wanted us to be. All of which together has created what has come to be known today as a masculinity crisis. If you search masculinity crisis here on YouTube, a bunch of videos will pop up on the subject, with opinions covering a spectrum from red pill to toxic masculinity and everything in between. As to how these dynamics apply to myself, I will start by admitting that my father was not the best early on, but he was always present, and he grew as a person over time. I once heard someone say that our parents raise us how they themselves were raised. I love my dad. He's the hardest working person I know and is my biggest role model. And although I still have feelings of resentment, I understand it's not necessarily his fault for how I became who I am. But because of my childhood experiences, I developed survival mechanisms that, until recently, made me desire the approval of others. After all, if I hide my flaws and be what others want me to be, I'll be loved and have my needs met. To break free, we must seek help. To start breaking free, we must first recognize our behaviors we wish to change or improve. I have both, and I picked out 3 negative behaviors and 3 positive ones that have resonated with me. A paradigm of powerlessness. In an attempt to cope with uncertainty of their chaotic childhoods, they developed a belief system that if they could just do everything right, then everything would go right in their lives. As a result, we approach adult situations with the survival mechanisms formed during childhood. Doughty, in his podcast, discusses what I feel is one such example of this paradigm in his video, People Treat You the Way You've Trained Them to Treat You. Click on the link below to watch his video. A disconnect from men. A common trait amongst us is we try to be different from our quote-unquote bad fathers. We try to be different from other men. We believe we're not controlling, angry, rageful, or violent, but are attentive to women's needs, good lovers, and good fathers. I told a female friend once before, I don't like men. But the truth was that I did not like myself. In seeking approval, we don't believe we're okay just as we are, so we attach our identity and worth to the self, such as our talent, our intellect, and our physical appearance, something that we do, like we work hard or we're just really nice, and external things, such as our kids, our wives, or our cool stuff. In order to recover, we must center on learning to put ourselves first and making our needs a priority. First way is self-approval. Spend extended periods of time alone. It's very underrated. This allows us to explore ourselves, our thoughts, our goals, and our dreams. We can truly examine the positive changes we wish to make under the watchful eye of no one. But we must make sure we are brutally honest with ourselves to move forward. Having trouble? Need a bit of a push? Reveal yourself to a safe person, someone who provides some comfort, but also someone who is brutally honest, holds you accountable, and pushes you to make better choices for yourself without any strings attached. Take good care of yourself. Start now. Take responsibility for your own needs. Having needs means to be human. We as nice guys must acknowledge this and be honest with the world. Mature, healthy people set boundaries and make meeting their own needs a priority. Don't feel guilty about being selfish. You need help? Be clear and direct. As I was drafting my script for this video, I watched a newly uploaded video by How to Beast titled, I Have No Friends, where David talks about his early struggles to improve his life and the lack of motivational content for men in society. What also resonated with me was the number of men that shared their struggles on their current journey in life, experiencing loneliness and depression. The link to the video is down below. I recommend watching it, but one thing How to Beast said that I feel applies here is that his friendships, quote, presented themselves when I was heavily applying to myself to my own path in life. For him, it was the gym. For me, it's been martial arts. For you, it can be anything. Be willing to put yourself out of your comfort zone. If you're not comfortable going alone, pair up with a buddy you trust and go together. Apply yourself to some direction in life. Seek healthy role models. Visualize what you think a healthy male looks like and think of healthy masculine traits you'd like to develop. Observe how these men live their lives and interact with the world to begin assimilating a healthier model of manhood. These men can be real-life persons or fictional characters from any form of media. There are many men, both real and fictional, whom I aspire to be like. Just to name a few, these include my father, the hardest working man I know, David Goggins, brutally honest, motivational, and pushes himself past his limits, and Urahara Kisuke, the best character in all of the Bleach series. He's strong, funny, arguably the smartest person in the whole series. To ease our transition from thought to action, Dr. Glover gives several recommended activities to complete throughout this must-read. Here are 4 that have aided my soul-searching journey. 1. Plan a trip, vacation, or retreat by yourself. Self-observe, reflect, journal, practice good self-care. When you return, Observe how you're different and how long it takes to begin going back to your familiar patterns. 2. Write down the messages you've received from your family that seem to imply that it wasn't okay for you to be who you were, and note down your feelings. I know we as men struggle with identifying and conveying our emotions. One tool that's helped me is Dr. Gloria Wilcox's feeling wheel. I use this every time I journal. I wouldn't be able to do so without it. Click the link below for a copy. 3. Write down 3 safe people that might be able to provide support. If no one comes to mind, look up counselors or search for support groups. And 4. What do you really want in life? What prevents you from making it happen? Write down 3 things you want to make happen in life. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm headed in the right direction. I'm blessed to be in the current situation that I'm in. I'm surrounded by the right people. Understand that there is no quick fix to life. This is a lifetime journey. Start now, but do so first and foremost for yourself. As Arthur Ashe said, quote, "Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can." End quote. Stay safe and take care.